What's up, good people? What's up, good people? It's your boy, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr., the Impact Builder. And I know it's a special edition, y'all. I know y'all used to hold me down on the third Mondays of each month for the brand new development series, but I had to do this. I had to do this because I had a good friend of mine that has this powerful conference coming up, and I was like, we got to tell the people about this. We got to let them know. Going into 2023, we about to give them the roadmap to greatness. So I was like, well, can you come and talk to us a little bit about it so we can tell the folks about how they can be a part of it. One, to be able to come and be an attendee. But then she said, well, I'll do you one better. She said, let's go talk about it, but I'll bring a couple of other folks to come and talk about it too. So today, I'm bringing you some of the phenomenal speakers that are going to be a part of the Roadmap to Greatness conference that's coming up. So they're going to talk to us a little bit about who they are. They're going to talk about what they're going to be talking about at the conference, and then they're going to be talking about what the roadmap to success means to that greatness means to them, what we can do to get on our roadmap to greatness and all of those good things. So I want to first introduce, if y'all notice, yes, if y'all can see, I am the only male on this panel, y'all. Yeah, Miss Shana set me up. She set me up for this. I think she set me up for this. So, but we're going to have a great time today. And I'm going to start with her. Shana, I want to have you introduce yourself to everybody. And then I want you to start off by talking about a little bit about the conference, and then you can introduce the panel, and then we'll go into having them do their own kind of introduction as well, if you don't mind.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr. um, I think y'all, Dr. Leroy and I have not even connected in person. He's in the DMV area and just hasn't happened yet. I believe we connected on social media several years ago when I was planning an event in the ATL, and he was going to come down to attend that event. And we have been really connected ever since. So thank you so much, Dr. Leroy, for your love and support over the years. I definitely cannot wait until we connect in person. We continue to build together. That's right. He's representing with one of our signature t-shirts today. Thank you. But I am Shanna Jefferson, and I am a mental health therapist. I established my first business, Destination Greatness Mental Health Services. Well, I should know how many years ago, right? Because that's the reason why we're here. So 10 years ago, 1 month shy of 10 years, by the grace of God, in business as the owner and lead at Destination Greatness Mental Health Services. But in addition to that, I'm a business coach. My coaching and consulting firm is Visions of Greatness Enterprises. And at Visions of Greatness Enterprises, we help entrepreneurs create harmony in their life as well as their business through personal development, mental wellness, as well as creating sustainable business practices. And as the creator and visionary of the Roadmap to Greatness conference, I am super excited about my amazing lineup of trailblazing expert speakers, y'all. Now, there are a few men. Dr. Leroy joked about being the only man on this panel today. But today, the ladies did show up, and we will show out. However, we also do have a few men as well that are expert speakers that you will be learning. If you haven't already connected with us on social media, you'll be learning more from them soon. So please tune in, take note as my amazing expert speakers will share. They'll introduce themselves, as Dr. Leroy said, and they'll share more about themselves as well as their experiences and what you can connect or what you can expect, that is, to receive from them at the Roadmap to Greatness Business Conference scheduled for February 23rd, y'all, through 25th. And let me add this. It does not matter where you are, okay? You can be anywhere in the world because this is a virtual conference. Tickets start at only $10. That's it. $10. Of course, you can upgrade your tickets to receive some other amazing benefits, including we're giving away a scholarship fund as well as over $5,000 in business resources. So while you're tuning in, make sure you save the website Roadmap to Greatness Conference.com. I'll also make sure I drop it in the comments as well. So thank you again, Dr. Leroy McKenzie. I think Dr. Leroy
Absolutely.
Okay, there
No,
he
I'm
goes.
here. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So thank you for that. And let's start. I'm going to start this way, kind of the way that I'm seeing it on my on my screen here. I'm going to start up top here with Miss Shantia Lee. If you can kind of introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and then once I do the introductions, then we'll get into what you all are, what each of you are going to be speaking about at this at the conference that's coming up. So the mic is
Okay,
yours.
awesome. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Leroy. It's an honor and pleasure to be here. Thank you, Shane. I'm super excited about the conference. My name is Shantia Lee Emilus. I am a newlywed, so I was just married, so I want to add on my married name. But I'm located in Orlando, Florida, and I'm actually an education tech founder. So I have a college and career readiness app that targets first-generation college students, helping them attend their dream college debt-free. So that's what we do, and I'm so excited to be here. You are on mute, Dr. Leroy.
Go again, see. I'm going to drop down to Miss Crystal. You want to introduce yourself to everyone, please?
Hi, everybody. I'm Crystal Renee, and I'm a serial womanpreneur, a speaker, author, business coach, and a brand strategist. I teach coaches and consultants how to monetize their expertise and build a profitable and sustainable brand. I have several businesses, and I'm just really looking forward to the conference. Thank you so much to Dr. Leroy and to Shanna for having me, and I'll pass the mic.
Absolutely. And I'm going to jump up to the extreme results coach up top. Let me tell you, I got to tell you this real quick before you introduce yourself. You look just like my niece. You remind me of my niece so much. You really do. Kiana, if she's watching or not, but you remind me of her. You look just like her. Oh, she looks just like you, I should say too. But absolutely. But go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay, well, hello everyone, and thank you, Dr. Leroy and Shana, for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here. And my name is LaShondria Coleman. I'm your extreme results coach. I'm an author, speaker, and certified life coach. I do personal development coaching. I've been in the industry for about 7 years now, but most recently over the past year and a half, I've been working with business owners. I teach business owners how to structure compliant businesses and how to obtain their first $100,000 in business funding. And so I've been in the industry, for a while, and I just love helping people. I've been serving my community for a long time. And when Shana brought this opportunity to me to be a panelist at this conference, I was super excited because 2023, well, coming out of 2020 with COVID, it's a big need for just creating a new roadmap to like our goals and dreams and just our life. We need that coming up out of COVID. And so when she invited me to this conference, I was really excited and honored to be a part of it because I have a lot of materials and a lot of great information to share with the people. And I know it's going to change lives. So thanks again, guys, for having me. And as you can see, I'm always high energy. Sometimes y'all might have to say, turn it down a little bit, but I'm high energy. So this is what I'm bringing to the conference. And thanks again for having me, guys.
Coach, turn down for what? Turn down for what?
Exactly.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now we're gonna hop on over to the Trailblazer. And did you just did a video because I know it popped up on on my Instagram. I think it was I don't know if it was today or yesterday, but it popped up because I don't know if you were on one of your treadmills or something like that or whatever
Every
that I
day.
happened to see.
That's how I get through my workouts, Dr. Leroy. I was like, let me talk to the people while I'm up here.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, I want to express gratitude, just like everybody else. I believe that in which you don't honor, you'll lose. So thank you so much, Dr. Leroy. Thank you so much, Shana, for allowing us to be here and share this platform and time with you. My name is Carla Arcana Lawrence, and I go by the Trailblazer, and I have been in business for over 12 years now. And what I do is I help women to awaken their inner power, elevate their consciousness, and excel in purpose authentically and unapologetically. I believe in life too often we make apologies. That's why when my sister coach was like, y'all might have to tell me to turn down. I'm like, turn down for what? Like, nah, I believe any space we share, authenticity. If I can't be who I am completely, then I ain't coming. And so that rolls over even into my business. I'm a life and business strategist, and where I offer holistic transformation coaching. So my passion is helping women to experience longevity, and men. Just most of my clients are women, but I do work with men too. But I specialize in helping women experience longevity in life and business. And so what attracted me, I love how Shana is all into mental health. And so my mission, especially with my own story and my own trials and things, is to bridge that gap between mental health and business. And so I don't just teach women how to generate 6 figures in their business, how to write a book to bankroll their business, but it's like, hey, this is how you do this without losing you in the process, because money will only elevate more of who you are. And so if you're just a bad person, you're gonna be a bad person with money. And so if you got low confidence, low self-esteem, you're just gonna be a wealthy person still unsure of your abilities. So that's where I come in, that's who I am, and that's what I do. Thank you so much for allowing me to share.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I hope y'all are feeling the energy already that we're having just in this, and we haven't even gotten into the meat of the conversation. But the next speaker that I want to bring up, I'm gonna have her introduce herself, is Miss Maya Stevens. Maya, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody and tell them who you are?
Hello, everybody. My name is Maya. I go by Ms. Maya J. I am a speaker, like a lot of the people here, a serial mompreneur, and I don't like to say coach, maybe like more towards like the mentor side of things. I am all things love. So I bring women back to themselves through self-love and self-worth to manifest the love life that they desire. But it's mostly just a redesign of woman. So I serve the heart, body, mind, and soul of woman. There was some other direction I was going with that. So I guess that'll just be my introduction. I'm excited to be here. Shana, is her name Shana? How did I pronounce her name? Shanna invited me, and well, I won't say invited me. She let me know about the event, and I went through the process, and I'm honored to have been selected. It's a really kick butt speaker panel. I love all the energy and what all the Black women are doing, and I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Man, Shana, let me tell you, you have an awesome, awesome lineup of speakers coming to this conference, and I can't imagine um, folks who have not heard about this but understand what they are getting themselves into. Um, and being able to come and register and be a part of something like this. And I want to get started because I know that a couple of the speakers have other prior engagements that they have to get to. So I want to start. I want to start with Shantia. I'm going to start with you, and I want to ask you one. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're going to be speaking on at the conference, and then I want you to give the attendees a little bit of what they can expect from you being at the conference, if you can.
Yeah, absolutely. So over the last 2 years, I've been successfully raising funds. I'm currently have a pre-seed fund open for $1 million. And so far to date, I've successfully raised $100,000 in pre-seed funding. So I actually want to bring this gift and knowledge to our community because I want to help business owners understand how to protect their equity when you start negotiating with investors, how to look for unconventional opportunities. So some of the funding that I've raised has been through fellowship programs, accelerator programs, grants. I even pursue government contracts. So there's so much money on the table. And we all know the most important thing to keep our business sustainable and scalable is having money. I don't want us to just have to hustle and bustle to get clients because I prefer working smarter and not harder. So I don't want to rely on, oh, my next client. So I'm actually bringing that to the table to teach business owners where I find my funding. I specifically actually register for opportunities that are only looking to fund minority served business. So that's one obstacle that's out of the way. I specifically target these opportunities and I'm bringing that knowledge to the table.
Wow. Wow. And I love that. Can you, why should the attendees, or I should say, what can the attendees expect from you? I mean, I know you talked about what they're gonna, but what is Ms. Shantia bringing to the roadmap to greatness conference this year? I want to come see Shantia. Why?
Yes. So you definitely want to come see me if you're ready for your business to get funded. So that's one reason you want to come see me. The second reason you want to come see me is because I love what I do. I love sales, and a lot of people hate sales and they run from sales. So it's good to partner with someone who's good at something that you may not like to show you a different perspective. So first, come see me because you want to get your business funded. And second, come see me so I can show you how to make sales easier.
Absolutely, I love it. And last thing, because I wanted to get yours all in, like I said, but the last thing, what does the roadmap to greatness mean to you? If I said that to you, what was that thing that said, you know what, this is something that I want to be a part of?
Yeah, so when I think of roadmap to greatness, I just wish there was a blueprint laid out for me when I started investing because I made a lot of mistakes at the beginning. I almost gave away a lot of equity in my company. I didn't understand how to protect intellectual property. So it's a game changer. So attending events like this, and especially what Shana is hosting, will really just help prepare businesses and also protect Black-owned businesses.
Yeah, and I like that. And a lot of this is one of the things that is not talked about is how to protect your assets, as me and one of my business partners talk about. We tell you protecting your assets. They protecting your assets, but also ensuring that you're covered from not only a legal standpoint, but from a financial standpoint. And you talked a little bit about that too with the money, because we don't understand a lot of times, and we don't have those things in place in order to be able to do that. So I want to thank you for that. And I know that you have to go in a few minutes.
Yes,
so
come see me at the conference. Thank you so much.
So I appreciate you. Now we're gonna drop down here to Miss Crystal. I'm coming to you. I'm coming to you. I'm coming to you. Now, Miss Crystal, the question for you is: what are you going to be speaking about at the conference? What's your topic that you're going to be speaking on?
Yeah, so the title of my talk is Millionaire Mindset: Creating Multiple Income Streams.
I love that. All right, now you're going to talk a little bit. What can the attendees expect from your session that you're going to be talking on?
Yeah, so I'm really going to be focusing on how you can monetize your existing expertise and why that's even important. Also, how you can create multiple income streams within one business, but also how you can brand many of your different ideas and kind of basically create like this powerhouse ecosystem to make you a seven-figure earner. It's so funny because Shantia was talking about government contracts. That's actually one of my areas of expertise also, because it is another income stream and also increases the profitability and sustainability of your business. So I think for me, it's just most important to teach people how they can use what's already inside of them to basically, create their own life of success or manifest what they desire.
And I like that. I like that. Especially that, when you talked about the millionaire manifesting that. I'm all about that. But a lot of people, I think, and you tell me if you believe this is true or you found this to be true. A lot of people, they say they want it. They say they want that, that status, but they don't understand what it takes to get there. And not just get there too, but also to stay there, because there's been a lot of people that have made it to that level, but there have been a lot of people that have gotten there and have lost it. And I don't know how familiar you are with, or that you heard recently, that Usain Bolt, the track runner, lost $12 million. And I didn't haven't had a chance to read the whole story yet, but to obtain that kind of level, and then to have it all ripped from under you because of the circumstances that happened, what happened with him being able to lose that money. We've got to be careful. So it's not just about getting there to that millionaire status, but it's about understanding the work that it takes. And I talked about that today. Are you willing to sacrifice? And a lot of people ain't willing to sacrifice to get what it is that they want to get to that level. They think, oh, it's just, I'm gonna get there, and it shouldn't take any work for me to get there. No, nobody's gonna just give you $1 million. I promise you. They're not
Right.
just gonna give it to you. They're
Right.
not. They're not.
Absolutely.
um, so, and I'm gonna come back to you, because we're gonna talk about what the roadmap to greatness means to you, and then I'm gonna ask each of you all um, to what going into 2023. So this is for you all to start to think about. We're still in January of 2023, and what does that roadmap to greatness look like going into the 2023? Because my mission is always to make people better by the end of the year than they are at the beginning of the year. So what does that look like for you all? So that's just something for you all to to think about. Um, uh, Ms. Trailblazer, I'm coming to you next because you're on my screen there. So I want you to if you can tell the people just a little bit about what you're going to be speaking on, and then what you're going to be speaking on at the conference, and then just a couple of highlights or why they should be attending.
Absolutely. And I'm gonna be honest, I struggle with my topic because I do so many things and I help like so many people. And I was like, what? I was like, okay, I could do the 6-figure thing. I could do that. And it was like, nah, let's go back to the basics. Because I think sometimes, even as we're on this journey of entrepreneurship, we can tend to lose ourselves, and which tends to affect our business. So my topic is know your worth. And worth is an acronym that I'm breaking down into teachable steps. And I'm a storyteller. So I believe that your story is connected to your community. So I'm not just coming in saying, do this, do that, do that. I'm like, listen, girl, I've been there. This is what happened. Let me tell you what happened to me. Let me tell you how how I fell on my face. And so you can prevent that from happening to you as well. So I'm more of a transformational speaker where it's like, I might not teach it in like A, B, C, D, but it's like, as I'm speaking to you, it's so much wisdom, you know what I'm saying, transformation that's happening. So for me, it's the foundation of knowing your worth, breaking that down into an acronym, which are actionable steps that you can take as you're on this road to greatness. Yeah.
And I love that. I love that. And it is. It's actually a roadmap, because we have to understand that it's like a GPS system. We're trying to get to it. If you're trying to get to a destination, you have to put in where it is that you're going to, and then the GPS will guide you along the way, and about how to get there. So I love that. I'm gonna come to you, Shayna, after I go to I want to actually come up to Maya, and then I'm gonna come to Miss the Extreme Results Coach. I love that, the Extreme Results Coach. But Maya, what's your topic going to be at the conference, and what can the attendees expect from you?
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm trying to do 2 calls at the same time. I'm getting certified to be a mediator, so I have to sit in on a mediation. But luckily for me, I don't have to talk, so she's on screen record. So if you hear her in the background, I apologize. I'm trying to do 2 things at one time. My topic is just like who was the sister we were just talking to with the short haircut?
Oh, that was the Trailblazer.
The Trailblazer, and I love her name because I call myself that, but not in my business. Yes, her. I was on the same page with her as far as like what to talk about because I'm multifaceted, and you could go deep. So my topic, I finally settled after, how in the movies when it's about a writer or a person who writes music, you always see the trash can full of, that was me for topics. I was like, no, not this one, not this one. And I finally settled on, like she said, I'm pro tell your story. So if you look at my Facebook, it's pro my whole story. So I chose the topic from pain to powerhouse. And you can ask Shauna that I did not first know my topic. I gave her like 10 topics. And then I came back a week later and I said, okay, wait, I know what it is. So it's from pain to powerhouse. Like you hear of pain to profit, pain to purpose, but this one is more so pain, having like lived in that identity from that, what's it called? From that level of worth, like your self-concept and your worth within that pain identity, and how to shift it into becoming a powerhouse. So that's where my topic is.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Miss Lashandria, Miss Lashandria, yes, ma'am. What are you going to be talking about? What's your topic? And then what the attendee what can the attendees expect from you?
Okay. My
No,
top,
don't be texting or nothing.
Oh, put yourself
Oh,
on mute.
sorry.
Yeah.
my, my topic is how to structure a compliant business. However, I'm going to come up with like a clever little name for the topic, but it's basically based around how to structure a compliant business. And we're gonna touch on like the introduction, like the mindset of business owners. We're going to touch a little bit on what type of mindset business owners should have going into starting any business. And then we're going to get into like what it takes to get things done. You know, I'm going to give the participants a get it done checklist, a actionable checklist that they'll be, you know, checking off every step that they're taking when it comes to structuring a compliant business. I'm going to give the attendees a step-by-step workbook, a guideline that they can follow. You know, it's a really easy guideline that they can follow, and they can, you know, go off checking, you know, keeping track of everything they're doing, because a lot of business owners, you know, they want to start these businesses, but they don't have the foundation. And the foundation is just the structuring it properly. And a lot of times, that's what eliminates a lot of business owners from getting funding, because their businesses aren't structured properly. And so we're making sure we're building on a solid foundation. That's what they're going to get from me, that solid foundation that they can build upon, and they can build a empire. But as I stated, that workbook is everything, because it's based off of actual experience. My experience, I went through these steps, the processes of my clients as well, trial and error, you know, this is all through experience. And so I'm going to make sure they're provided with a booklet to keep track of this information, because a lot of times business owners lose valuable information. So when they go to apply for credit card applications and things like that, they don't have their DUNS number, they don't have their tax ID number, they don't have all the documents they need. So I want to make sure that everything is stored in one place. Everything is, you know, organized correctly. And I'm just making sure I'm giving these participants all the tools that they need to go out and just feel confident, they can confidently build this business and confidently walk into any bank or apply at any establishment for funding, for capital. And so they can expect to receive just a plethora of valuable information that they can really use. I'm talking about starting the same day. When they get done with it, they can go out and start applying. And something else that I want to add too is like, you know, the workbook is so phenomenal. It's free. That's the best thing about it too. It's all free. It's free information, but it's so many jewels in that book. It's like just something simple as a phone line, right? Like a lot of people set up a business with a phone line. It could be connected to their home phone, but guess what? Underwriters are going to catch on to that. So I'm giving, like, I have options in there, like is a company called Global Voice Direct, where you can go get a phone line for your business and pay like $24 a month, and they gonna give you a $7,000 revolving line of credit just for having that phone line. So you're gonna have that revolving line of credit, which is gonna help that business trade line. And you know, I'm just giving them like a lot of tools that is going to help them like get to that destination of applying for capital faster. And so, yeah, it's going to be great, guys. I'm really excited.
And that's one of the things too that I don't think that aspiring entrepreneurs and even those that may have just starting up, they don't understand. Because I know when I started my business, one of the things that you can find a number of books, you can find all kinds of information on how to start a business. But what you won't find, or what I didn't find at that time too, was those foundational things like you talked about that allow you to be able to have the firm foundation so that the doors not only open, but they stay open. That's what I think that people missed. They don't have what they need in order to be able to sustain themselves, those foundational pieces that they need in order to be able to say, hey, do I have, do I have all of the, like you were saying, the certain documents that I'll need in order to be able to do what it needs to do? Do I even know the difference in the entities? Which one fits me best, so that I start off the right way and don't have to in midstream try and change and everything like that. So I love that you're going to be talking about that, because that was what I could have used back when I started my business. But that gave me the understanding too, hey, this is something that we know that is needed out there, because everybody doesn't know. And like you were saying, one of the things that I think that the pandemic taught me, or that I saw, and why a lot of our businesses did not qualify for the PPP, was because they didn't have the document. They didn't have all of that stuff in place in order to be able to get that money that was there. That was technically, it could be free money for you. That was there. If you had those documents. So that's where it comes back to bankrupt proofing your biz, is what we call it, bankrupt proofing your biz, which is where the legal documents that you need, the financial documents that you'll need in order to be able to show investors, bankers, planners, and all of those things. So I know that session is going to be absolutely phenomenal. So I'm gonna jump up here to Miss Shanna. Now, are you going to be doing a session, or do you just have all of the other speakers? So I don't know if you're going to be doing a session or not.
I am. So kind of like Carla, better known as the Trailblazer, as well as Maya J. I also struggle in terms of what should I present, but Leroy, you probably already know, it only makes sense. I think, I'm celebrating the anniversary of the mental health business. And then over the last, it's been working more to help entrepreneurs understand the importance of taking a holistic approach that is to entrepreneurship, including taking charge of their mental health. I actually just pulled my last book out titled The Mental Cost of Entrepreneurship. And several years ago, it was a study conducted by the University of California that suggested that 49% of entrepreneurs, at least in that study, experience a mental illness. And honestly, even in my experiences of working with my clients, as well as connecting and collaborating with other entrepreneurs, creatives, authors, coaches, and business owners, that's not far-fetched at all, okay? One of the key things to know is that, mental illness is real, definitely amongst the general population and certainly amongst entrepreneurs. So my topic is, for the presentation, the mental cost of entrepreneurship. Essentially, I'm going to discuss more what is the mental cost of entrepreneurship, right? Going to provide you with some strategies and tips on how we can tackle the mental cost of entrepreneurship, including just briefly one, and this is what Visions of Greatness does. One, ensuring that you're engaging in personal development, right? Two, of course, the focus and emphasis on mental wealth or mental wellness. And three, somewhat similar to what the other experts, some of the other expert speakers have indicated today, but just not to that extent for my presentation, but ensuring that we have sustainable business practices, right? You have to have certain systems in place to ensure that your business is sustainable. I believe it was Carla that mentioned she's been doing this perhaps for 12 years. And I know some of our other expert speakers as well have been in the game longer than me, and that is such a blessing. I think we've probably seen the numbers before that 50% of entrepreneurs or business owners fail within the first 5 years. I mentioned that 5 years ago at my event titled The Mental Cost of Entrepreneurship that we held in the ATL. And then by the 10th year, only about 35% of small business owners survive. So I certainly want to see more of us, right? Achieve sustainability and longevity. 20 years, someone is saying, wow. Crystal actually has been in the game for 20 years. Y'all, if you have not signed,
Come on now.
you are missing out, okay? It's not even about me, right? I always say that I'm just a vessel. This is just 5 or 6 of us here, right? 6 or so of the amazing expert speakers for the RoadMap to Greatness conference. These ladies, and then we have some gentlemen as well that will be joining us. They bring a wealth of knowledge, skills, resources, and experiences that you do not want to miss out on. So y'all, if you have not registered, I dropped the link actually in the comments, but go to RoadMap to Greatness conference.com so you can sign up today. Essentially, Leroy, with this conference, attendees can expect to leverage the real and the raw experiences of these expert speakers. So really, you don't have to recreate the wheel, right? Several of them alluded to, giving you a blueprint and an actionable game plan. And that's what I want our attendees to leave with. Come hungry for knowledge and leave with actionable steps and actionable game plan that you can implement and execute, not just in your business, right? Because I'm all about creating harmony in our lives and our businesses as well, so that you can create harmony in all aspects of your life, physically, spiritually, emotionally, socially, financially, mentally, otherwise, as well as ensure that you have a sustainable business for the long run.
And I love that, and you actually went into the next kind of question that I wanted to talk about, which is what I want each of the speakers to talk on, which is what you want them to come away with from their particular sessions. What do you want? What actionable steps are there, or even just what you want them to come from in general? Because I always ask authors that after someone's read their book, what do you want them to come away with? After they've attended the RoadMap to Greatness conference and they've attended your session, what is it that you want them to be able to pull away from, to be able to come away with, and be able to say, you know what, I know what my next step is. I know what I have to do next. So, Crystal, I'm gonna start with you and ask you, what do you want those that attend your session? What do you want them to come away with from your session?
Yeah, thanks, Dr. Leroy. I think that's an excellent question. I think I just want participants to know that it's possible. Like all that we're talking about, that I'm talking about, that any of the other speakers are talking about, is possible for you too. I'm a firm believer that when the student is ready, the teacher shows up. So you have so many different experts in so many different areas that are going to be dropping gems at this conference. So, don't miss out on your opportunity. Don't miss out on your next door. All you have to do is walk through it. Also, note takers are money makers. So are you going to be taking notes? Are you going to remove all distractions? Are you going to be present for that event? For my session, I was dropping in the chat. That's why everybody was laughing because I said I've been in business for over 20 years. So yes, I have been an entrepreneur since the age of 16. No, I'm not that old. I'm only 37. But I say all that to say, again, that everything that we're going to be talking about is possible for you. In my session, I'm just going to be going through basically my blueprint and what I went through. And I always welcome any questions that anybody has. So please feel free to reach out. Again, I feel like there's just so much knowledge and wisdom that's going to be in the room. I think the most important thing for you is just to be in the room that day and just be present and soak up as much knowledge as you can. And I just want folks to know that it's possible. Everything is possible. All you have to do is just take action, take the next step. I'll pass the mic.
And I love that. You said one of my key phrases is be in the room. This conference is one of those be in the room events. It's not something that you want to hear somebody, oh, you should have been there. You don't want to hear somebody saying to talk about, oh, well, you this, that, you this is one of those events that you say, I want to have this experience. And I know Shana has it lined up because of I call it, Shana, I'm gonna call it your circle of impact. These speakers that you have are people that are going to pour into those that come to this conference. I promise you, you're not going to come away empty-handed. You're not going to come away with not having what your next steps will be. I promise you, this is one of those events that you want to be a part of, that you want to say, hey, I was in the room when Crystal spoke. I was in the room when Miss Carla spoke. These are people that you don't want to miss. As you've seen, the topics that they're going to be talking about are topics that I think that at one period or another that you've experienced, or if you haven't, just wait a little longer, and you'll be able to, you're going to experience them, and you'll be able to say, you know what, I'm ready for it, because I came to the conference with my notebook. I came ready and with my book of notes in order to be able to come away with what it is that I'm supposed to be coming away with. So, Ms. Carla, can you tell us what you want the attendees to come away with from your session?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. For me, I think is that it's okay to be your authentic self. Like, be you. Like, I think sometimes as entrepreneurs, we try to compartmentalize, like, okay, I'm here, so I'm Coach Carla. I'm over here, so I'm the trailblazer. Now you bring all of who you are in every space that you enter. And so knowing that you don't have to always follow the trends, and you don't have to, oh, I got to do it like this, I got to do it like that. Like, it really aches me when I see people online telling people how they got to do it. And I was like, nah, people have options. And what I love about the diversity of this group is because all of us are different. First of all, I love that we all men and women of color. Hello, let's pump that up. You know what I'm saying? Because for me as a woman of color, to hear from another person of color, it's like, okay, you get it on multiple levels. You know what I'm saying? Because, okay, I got one strike against me because I'm this. I got another strike because I'm a woman. We don't like to talk about those things, but the colorism and things like that do still exist. I have a lot of clients that are still in corporate America, and they deal with it every single day. And so it's just knowing like, yo, there's a space for me. Like, I can be my authentic self. I don't got to try to be like Crystal. I can be inspired by her, but I don't got to try to be her. And then understanding like, yo, life still happens in the midst of building your business. So how do I continue to show up? When I'm having a mental breakdown, but then I got a session with a client, do I cancel or do I push through? How do I navigate through those difficulties of the things that I'm dealing with? So that's what I'm hoping they take away from the know your worth. You know what I'm saying? We break down those acronyms where they can apply it personally, they can apply it professionally. Yeah.
I love that. I told y'all this is a power packed speaker, speakers that Shana has lined up here for the conference. So you certainly, as you can hear, their excitement, but their energy that they're going to be bringing. And I know this is just here, so you can only imagine what it's going to be like when you are at the conference and you have all of these folks in this position ready to give you information, to pour into you. And I'll talk a little bit about my picture in the glass theory in a little bit. But Maya, I want to come to you and I want to ask you about what what you want your audience to come away with. And I told you I did my homework, but you might not have been here with us. I had to do my homework because if you notice right here, I'm the only male on this panel that we talking here. So I had to do my homework. And I did a little homework on you, and I don't want people to escape this, but I read um, that you graduated from high school at 16 years old, and I was like, okay, so she really bringing it. But then you want to know what really caught me, and then I'm gonna let you go into what you want them to come away with. My major in college was hotel restaurant management, so I'm all about hospitality. And I saw that, and I saw that you were in that field too. So I was like, oh, I know she's gonna be doing something. So I told y'all I did my homework on y'all. So I know a little something. But Mike, can you tell the people what you want them to come away with from the conference?
That is lovely. I appreciate that. That was a throwback. I haven't talked about graduating at 16 in a while. I'm really excited. I'm like anxious to know what Carla's acronym is because I told you I'm pro love, pro self. Like I need to know. No, but this is a question I always ask myself. It's one of the things, like one of my drivers. One thing that's important to me is intentionality. So 90% of the things I do with intentionality, except for like brush my teeth. But most of the things I do is with intentionality. So a lot of times, like if I go live, before I go live, I'll ask myself, like, what do I want them to take away? What is this? Not just let me go live because people say you need to go live to build your audience. When I'm designing my programs, when I'm writing my workbooks, what do I want people to take away? And especially when I hit the stage, it's like, what do I want you to take away? And I think there's like two things. The one thing is, I don't know how to word it yet. I will know by the time I get there, but I don't know how to word it yet, but it's in the arena of like ownership, kind of like what Carla said with like unapologetically authentic, but not just ownership, like just own it. Like she said, how you get to be you, just own it. Okay. We don't, like, my whole thing is like you have a choice. In society, they make you feel like you don't have a choice, especially if you get to rock bottom or a rock in a hard place. You feel like you don't have a choice. Your only choice is this. Your only choice is that. Or like those limiting sayings that are like beggars can't be choosers and something is better than nothing, and you can't take back what you did. Limiting things like that, like I want people to know, like, you have a choice. And because you're choosing to believe these like limiting things, those are the parameters in which you can move. But ultimately, you have a choice. And whatever you choose is okay. Like, own that. I read what's her name? I read Viola Davis's book, and she says the same thing towards the end of her book, but she says she had to learn it. And no offense, but Viola Davis is older than me, so she's just now getting the lesson that it's okay to take ownership. She said the reason she was scared to write the book, to tell her story of where she came from, because she came from like real poverty. Her home that she grew up in, she said that they were always they were always smelling like urine because her parents had to choose between keeping the lights on and like all the other bills. They had to choose between the bills. They could never just pay all the bills. So a lot of times she was in the dark and her house was rat infested. So at night when they had to go to the bathroom, they were scared to go to the bathroom, so they would pee in the bed. And they had to choose between dish liquid, body soap, and laundry detergent. So she said a lot of times they didn't have laundry detergent, and that's why they would go to school smelling like urine. And she said, I didn't want the world to know that about me. That's my story. And she said, I learned, so what? So what? That's where I came from. And I'm a firm believer in like your story, your journey isn't just for you. It gives other people permission to give themselves permission to be free, like liberate yourself. And that's the one thing I want people to take away is like, you have the power. You have the power. Just you have the power to choose, you have the power to own it, you have the power. And then you have the power to turn that into something. So I think like my major takeaway is just take a step back, breathe, and then choose. Like you don't have to live in a box.
I love it. I love it. I love it. LaShondria, what do you want people to come away with?
I would like the participants to come away with a sense of confidence that they didn't come in the room with. I want them to come away with the confidence that they need to take action and get results. I want them to confidently, know that they can build on a solid foundation. And once they do that, you can go into all the different levels, confidently structuring, your net 30 accounts, or at all 3 levels of the net 30s. I want them to confidently, walking into any establishment that feel like they can. And after they get that business established, I want them to confidently walk in those establishments and apply for that capital because they will get approved. The funding is out here. We just have to, take the necessary measures and the steps to make sure we're structured properly so we can have a better chance to receive that funding. So I just want them to confidently approach their situation because a lot of times business owners are discouraged, or they're discouraged with what they don't know. And a lot of times we let that stop us. But like I tell people, I use Apple, for example. Apple never let what they don't know stop them. Apple develops phones. They let their customers develop their phones and design their phones. We do it through trial and error. They have Apple, 5, 6, 7, 8, all these different models. That's trial and error. Had they not even approached the situation because they didn't know it, we wouldn't have even known of an iPhone and an Apple. And so, I just want participants to know that you got to work with what you have, get started right now. And your confidence is the key to everything in life. You have to confidently approach any situation you're facing. So that's what I will want the participants to leave with is a newfound sense of confidence when it comes to approaching their business endeavors.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Y'all need to go make sure you look in the comments. Shana, put the registration. You want to go and register for the RoadMap to Greatness conference. We want you to be a part of this. We want you to come away better. Like I told y'all, my mission, make you better by the end of the year than you are at the beginning of the year. And I promise you, you start your year off with this conference. It's in this conference, and I'm gonna have Shana at the end. She's gonna be giving us all this information. So last thing that I'm gonna have everybody do, because I want to be respectful of everybody's time, and I don't want to take up too much more of your time. But this is the last thing that we'll do. I want you to, and I'm gonna start with you, LaShondria, and go back. If you can give people your contact information, because I know the conference is in February. So we want to make sure that even before then, that people want to check you out, they want to get your information or get your product or services even before they come to the conference. How can they connect with you?
Okay, you can connect with me online on Instagram, Extreme Results Coaching, on all over the web. It's just the same, Extreme Results Coach, Extreme Results Coaching. That's the name of my website. And I have a book, The Win-Win Approach, that's online at my website as well as online at Amazon. But all around the web, the handles are the same, the Extreme Results Coach, or just my regular name, LaShondria Coleman. Yeah.
I love it. Why was that when you were talking about that? Why was I thinking about, I don't know if I remember the show, Girlfriends, Tony Childs, I specialize in results.
Yes.
Think about that for some reason. Ms. Carla, how can people connect with you?
Yes, sir. Thank you. My website is carlacannon.com. And then on all social media outlets, it's at Carla R. Cannon Lawrence.
Love it, love it, love it. Miss Maya, how can people connect with you and contact you?
Sorry, my mute wasn't trying to come off. I have Maya J. Steppins on Facebook. I really don't know the slash tag because I have the profile. I made the slash tag for my profile and for um, the business page, but the business page can be found by just Ms. Maya J. Ms. with a Z. And then Instagram is Ms. Maya J. And that's all. I feel like I
Okay.
had more handles than that, but that's all I can think of.
That's right. Let me find you. Miss Crystal, how can they connect with you?
Yes, so you can find me. I am the founder of Simply She, capital SHE, www.isimplyShe.com. You can connect with me on Instagram at I_simply_she, Facebook at I_simply_she, LinkedIn, I'm at Crystal Vernay. And to see more of how I work with people and what offers I have, you can visit slayhardeveryday.co.
I love it. I love it. And I saved the host for last purposefully so that she can not only tell us how they can contact her, connect with her, but then also Shana how they can how they can register and then the dates, the date and time for the conference and everything too. Anything that you wanna put in there about the conference, go ahead and let us know.
Thank you once again, Dr. McKenzie, as well as the amazing expert presenters for the first annual RoadMap to Greatness Business Conference. So the conference is scheduled we're 1 month away, y'all, February 23rd through 25th. Of this year. It will be virtual for the first 2 days. So you can join us once again from anywhere in the world. Okay. Go to roadmaptogreatnessconference.com to grab your tickets today. And then on February 25th, that Saturday, which actually is the actual 10th business anniversary for my mental health company, we're going to have a small, intimate celebration live and in person in Charlotte, North Carolina. So if anyone would like to attend that, tickets are also available online as well to join us in person on Saturday, February 25th. But once again, I mean, the speakers here, Leroy, they've already said enough, really. I really want all of my, entrepreneurs, regardless of what stage you are in business. I think perhaps it was Crystal that said earlier, always a student, right? There's always opportunities to learn, grow, and develop in life and business. So I truly invite each and every one of you to join us so that you can leverage, again, the real and the raw life and professional experiences of the amazing 10 expert speakers for the RoadMap to Greatness Conference. And really just my takeaway, probably just 2 things I'll leave. One, you're not alone. I know oftentimes during the entrepreneur journey, we think that we're in this alone, but you're not, okay? Just here, you have these amazing, just happen to be women, right? Leroy today, but Kenzie, you have these amazing women with diverse experiences, diverse stories that are ready to pour into you, motivate you, inspire you, as well as they've indicated, provide you with actionable tools and resources to boss up in your life as well as your business. So what is there left for you to do? Show up. That's it. Show up. Once again, I'm the host, Shanna A. Jefferson, psychotherapist, as well as business coach. And you can follow me on all social media platforms at Shanna A. Jefferson. Thank you.
Now, Shane, let me ask you real quick. How did you get the name? Where did you come up with that name from the roadmap to greatness? How did you come up with that?
Yes. So you probably are aware, Dr. McKenzie, that greatness is actually a word that that's pretty much, I have several businesses that is, and as well as just released my 7th book. So that's the word that I've used in most of my businesses, right? Destination Greatness Mental Health Services, as well as Visions of Greatness. Several books as well. But for me, the word greatness, when I wrote my first book, 32 Shades of Greatness, I think it was in 2016. Ooh, seems like so long ago. It was, so nearly 7 years ago, actually, I wrote my first book, 32 Shades of Greatness. And for me, the word greatness, even prior to that, I guess, with the business name, Destination Greatness. But for me, greatness is a word that resonates with all of us, right? It looks different for each and every one of us, but I think it's a word that we all can relate to. And I even heard TD Jake say some time ago, greatness is a mindset. So I want all of us to have the mindset, the understanding that, we are greatness and you are destined for greatness. So essentially with the roadmap to greatness, it is think of it as I don't know, you mentioned GPS earlier, right? Once you your destination, the GPS provides you with the guidance and really kind of takes away some of that guesswork, which is what these expert speakers are going to do. Take away some of the guesswork, give you some guidance and support as you navigate your journey to greatness.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And here's the thing: if you want greatness, you have to surround yourself with great people. You got to surround yourself with those that want to be great too. Like you said, Shana, greatness is a mindset, y'all, and your mindset begins. And one of the themes that one of my friends has this year is mastery. Greatness is it's about mastery. It's about being and understanding who it is that you want to be, but knowing how to get there. And you've got to be around greatness in order to be able to be great. You've got to read about greatness. Everything that you want to be has to exude greatness if you're going to be great. Nobody can do it for you. You've got to do it. There's a roadmap to get there. And these speakers right here that are going to be at this conference are going to give you, they're going to give you some of those directions on how to get there. Turn left here, go right here, go 5 miles up here. They're going to give you the instructions, but you're the one that has to drive. Yep. And it starts with being there at the roadmap to greatness. So, go ahead. Did you have something you wanted to say, Shane?
No, I was just saying, absolutely. You're in the driver's seat. I tell my clients that all the time, my therapy clients and my coaching clients, I'm just a vessel, and not to downplay my role. I'm sure the other coaches and consultants would say this as well. But ultimately, as you indicated, you're in the driver's seat. I'm a passenger in your vehicle of life. So whatever tools, whatever resources, whatever you can take from me, take it, use it to your advantage as you navigate your journey of life as well as business.
Yeah, and I'm gonna leave y'all with this. Even Michael Jordan, he didn't become great by himself. He had to have a roadmap to the greatness that he became. Kobe Bryant, same thing. Anyone that you can think of that you might think of using the term greatness, they had to have someone to show them the way. And these conference speakers are going to show you the way in order to be able to get there. But you got to be there. So go register. Like I told you, my mission, my purpose is to make you better, create value in you. And the way that I do that is by bringing you phenomenal people like none other than Miss Shana, Miss Carla, Miss Crystal, I hope I don't want to mess this name up, LaShandria, Maya, all of these great folks. It's just a lineup, and even the ones that I haven't mentioned that are going to be there, the other speakers that are going to be there. This great lineup of people that are going to be there, they're going to make you better. If I say there's going to be one thing you come away with from this conference, is you're going to come away being better. I promise you. You can't be at an event like this and be the same person that you go in as you are coming out. So go register. The link is in the comment section there. Come see these phenomenal people and be lifted up on your way to your roadmap to greatness, because your roadmap is not what everybody else's is. So I want you to take that. I want to thank everyone for taking time out of their day for joining me. I appreciate you. You all could have been anywhere else today, doing all these other things that you do, the great things that you do, but you decided to take time out to be able to come and talk to the audience about where you're going to be on February 23rd to the 25th. I got that right, didn't I, Shana? February 23rd to the 25th. And there's no other place that you would want to be if you're thinking about being great. So my name is Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr., the Impact Builder, and we will talk to you all next time. Have a great, great, phenomenal day, and we'll talk to y'all soon.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate your time.